Hello everyone, I'm going to do another book review. It's the book I'm going to review, and this is Stations of the Sun by Ronald Hutton. And I know a lot of people think, he's a pagan writer, why would you, a Christian, read a book by a pagan? Well, first, I think no matter what your religion is, you should read up on other religions and see their viewpoints. Secondly, Ronald Hutton really isn't, he's not really writing about the pagan perspective, but he's doing his job as a historian, and I think I should also learn about histories of other religions as well as the viewpoints and stuff. And third, this book specifically, he doesn't just talk about paganism, he talks about the entire ritual year, which heavily includes a lot of Christian practices. And also, I'm a Morris dancer as well, and he talks a lot about Morris dancing in this as well. Now, I'm going to comment on some of the controversies I've heard about Ronald Hutton as a writer. That there are pagans who dislike him because it goes against some of their viewpoints, that their religion is this truly ancient thing. All these things are all a revival of all these ancient practices, and he basically says, no, it's not all this ancient religion that we're reviving, it's a new religion inspired by several ancient religions. Which, I mean, for me, when thinking about that, if I were a pagan, I would think that that was even cooler than a revival of the ancient religion, although I can't see the appeal. But overall, I really like Ronald Hutton. Also, something that someone else recommended for me to do, which I actually did do, and he also implies the idea in the preface, is to read a couple of his other books first. The Pagan Religions of the Ancient British Isles and The Rise and Fall of Merry England before reading this, because those two books kind of give a history, sort of a chronological history of a lot of what he addresses in here. So you get all of that within context, and then you read this, it kind of expands upon all that. I'm going to say you don't need to do that. Definitely you don't need to do that. And from what I know, The Rise and Fall of Merry England is actually now out of print because just about everything in that book is also in here, but restructured and talked about in a different way. There's a lot of other stuff in here. But he really does his homework. He is a great scholar, and one of the things I like that I've noticed about a lot of the pagans and Wiccans that I've met and encountered is that one of the top books that they recommend when learning about Wicca is, rather than something like one of Gerald Gardner's books or another book of antiquity, many of them recommend another of his books, Triumph of the Moon, which as of the making of this video I have not yet read. Maybe eventually. But to me that shows that they actually they think scholarship is important, which I definitely like. I definitely can't argue there. I think that's something that several Christians should embrace. I've heard that pagans don't embrace it, but I've heard that from pagans ranting about their fellow pagans, but most pagans that I've met seem to really like Ronald Hutton, and I mean, he definitely does his homework, and yeah, I really enjoyed a lot of what he said about the church year, the pagan wheel of the year, Morris dancing, and other things. I mean, I sort of hang out in a crowd that sometimes does a lot of sort of English practices, so we do some of the things that he talks about in here in America as well. Things like mumming and souling during Halloween and Christmas. But overall, I definitely recommend this book for people who are interested in learning about sort of English culture and its history. I mean, rather than talking about the meaning of all these different holidays and events. He does talk about that, but he talks about the whole historical background. It really gets into detail. It's a big read, but definitely recommended. Thank you for watching. Shalom.